Dueling Death Day parties. Nearly Headless Nick needs your help to host the biggest Death Day party Hogwarts has ever seen. Impress the spirits of Hogwarts and earn a special invitation from one of the school's most eccentric ghosts. I wonder what this ghost could be, and kind of a bit ironic, cause my last name is Spirits. Oh, but this is gonna be good. I am really, in this year, I've been dealing with a lot of these special adventure side quests. The time trial ones. So, yeah. Let's just dive on into this one. Studying under the stars helps me concentrate. Random. I wish I could fly on my broom as gracefully as the ghosts glide through the air. Don't we all? It just got a bit chilly. It reminds me of autumn afternoons at the Wand Farm. It's kind of funny because Rowan is standing standing near two floating ghosts, and that she says it just got a bit chilly. It's been a while since I've interacted with Rowan, face to face, I think. I might have before, but derp memory, of course. Hello, Emmzy Spirits. So good to see you this evening. Look at all the ghosts in the background. But anyways, good evening to you too, Nearly Headless Nick. I heard you were looking for me. Also, do you like my icy robes? Ironically, just did them for you. And for the aesthetics. Yes, I was hoping that I could rely on your assistance in coordinating something exceptional with me. The fat friar is fond of all Hufflepuffs, but he is especially complimentary of you. Oh, really? Well, I'm honored. How can I help? As you may know, my Death Day is fast approaching, October 31st to be exact. To celebrate the occasion, I would like to host the grandest event with my friends, a Death Day party. Ironic. Isn't that the day you passed? That sounds a little dreary. Yeah, that does. It's like anti-birth. The living see a Death Day as the day someone passed, but ghosts see it as the day they started a new chapter in the afterlife. Some might find that dreary, but a Death Day party can be quite the affair. As such, planning an event of the magnitude that I have in mind is more than I can handle alone. I'm glad to help. What sort of party did you want? Let me tell you what I have planned so far. Ooh, yes, do tell. A Death Day party sounds like a wonderful evening, where you celebrate in style. Indeed, every ghost in Hogwarts should feel honored to be invited. It'll be the talk of the castle. We'll need the works. Formal invitations, a proper venue, a cornucopia of expertly spoiled food, the list goes on. I'm glad that you know what you want. I wouldn't know where to start with hosting an event like this. And this is big responsibility. I sense my surroundings differently than the living. Touch, sound, and sight. It's indescribably unique as a ghost. Really? That said, I am curious. What do you think of these arrangements? Not my style or spooky? Bring on the spooky! Come on! I can handle spooky. The party sounds like a lot of fun. I think the ghosts will like it a lot. I should have known you would be closely attuned to my ghostly sensibilities. Well, I mean, of course. What can I say? I like what I like. Now, we'll need to get the word out, at least informally for the time being. Well, how do we get the word out? But the way that we can get every ghost at Hogwarts buzzing about how fabulous our soiree will be. Right, who should we speak with first? I guess those ghosts? I think I just know where to start. My dear Friar, I was hoping to get a moment of your time. I'm sorry, friend, but it must wait. I just received the most delightful news. We will have to catch up at another time. Besides, you got all the time in the world. I just like how he can't, like he walks away like a living person instead of just floating away. But that's unusual. Follow the fat friar and see what he's talking about. And make sure you get him on board with my death day party. Oh, don't you worry, nearly headless Nick. I'll make sure. The ghosts appear to be excited about something, but none of them will tell me anything about it. Have you heard the good news? I can barely contain myself. This will be such an honor for Hogwarts. Excuse me, Friar. May I have a moment of your time?
Oh.
How can I be of assistance to you today? More like tonight. Sir Nicholas has asked me to help plan his death day party, and he wanted to make sure you could attend.
Oh.
It breaks my heart to say this, but I can't even think about that right now. I'm rather busy at the moment. Well, busy with what? Does it have anything to do with the commotion that the other ghosts are talking about? It absolutely does. I have just received word that a very prestigious ghost will be coming to visit Hogwarts. Oh. Okay. Just a new friendly, hopefully friendly. Is this a rare occurrence? I would love to meet this new prestigious spirit. Indeed, it's my friend's first time visiting the castle. Really? Well, first time for every ghost, I guess. Sorry, spirit. Now, I need to make sure that his stay will be worthy of their time. If you were hosting a very distinguished guest, how do you start planning for their visit? Ask them what they like, special things, space for them to stay. What about what they like? It's a good place to start. You know, get a bit of ideas, and then slowly from there you can find other, deduct other points. But do you know what they like? If you have a good idea of what they enjoy, it makes planning activities much easier. Exactly. Good thinking. I suppose that I'm still too stunned from hearing the news of his visit to have even considered that. I know you're excited, but try to give yourself a moment to think this through.
Yeah.
It's the best news I've received in a long time. Still, I shouldn't let myself get carried away. I love his smile. It's so cute. He's so happy. If you don't mind me asking, what makes this guest particularly special? I would love to know this, spirit. This guest isn't just special, he's great! Erling the Great! I'm sorry, who? I'm sorry to this Erling the Great. I don't know who this Erling the Great is. Perhaps you can help me plan for his arrival if I tell you a little more about Erling. Yes, please do. Because I'm embarrassed. Erling the Great is a special kind of storyteller. A bard of sorts, but one that specifically tells stories for ghosts.
Yeah.
He is known for sharing stories about the most noteworthy locations in wizarding history. Oh. Cool. Ghosts travel far and wide to hear him speak. He's quite famous. Famous in the afterlife, apparently. It sounds like this is a rare opportunity for Hogwarts to enjoy his stories. How long have you known him? Many years. We've been friends ever since the two of us were alive. Oh, so you're roughly the same ages. Roughly. Of course, all the ghosts here are massive fans of his travel stories, so naturally everyone is in a frenzy. Is it safe to assume that it's been a long time since he's visited Hogwarts, even though it's his first time ever?
Oh.
Erling has never visited the school before, and that's what has me so worried. I want to make sure that my friend's visit represents all of Hogwarts well. We must uphold our reputation. If he's as beloved by all the ghosts as you say he is, I'm sure everyone will be on their best behavior. I hope so. Most of Erling's stories revolve around his travels, and he shares them with ghosts all over the world. Erling's views of the school could affect our social standing for years to come. If there ever was a time to make a good impression, this is it. You know it will be Nearly Headless Nick's death day while he is visiting. Oh, I think I might know where I'm going with this. So do you think Erling would like an invitation to Nearly Headless Nick's party? I'm sure he would love to have both of you in attendance. That is an exciting option. Death Day parties are the type of formal affairs that Erling enjoys. However, I have so much to plan for that I'm afraid I can't commit to it right now. Is there anything I could do to help make your decision any easier? You must help find Erling a place to haunt while he's here. I need a room that's simple, but refined, grand without being too ostentatious. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm going with it. So do you know of any place like that? I could give it some thought when I study with Penny. Maybe she has some ideas.
Yeah.
Yes, please do, Emmzy. I can't possibly think about Nearly Headless Nick's party until Erling has a place to stay. Whoa, did I just glitch through that? Anyways, I can't seem to focus on studying now that I've got two ghosts expecting my help.
Huh?
There's something about this time of year that gets the ghosts worked up. Who's expecting your help? Nearly Headless Nick wants the Fat Friar to agree to attend his death day party. But on the other hand, the Friar is too busy planning for Friend's visit to think about anything else. For Friend's visit. Or for Friend's visit. Why? TH and F sounds tongue twisters. This must be some friend that's coming for a visit. His friend is Erling the Great. The Friar told me he's a famous ghost and storyteller. All the ghosts love him. A storytelling ghost? I wouldn't mind listening to his stories if I got the chance. The Fat Friar seemed quite preoccupied with his friend's visit. It was as if nothing else mattered. I can understand his concerns, though hosts feel responsible for their guests. It might help if we put ourselves in his shoes. His ghostly shoes, that is. If I was visiting Hogwarts for the first time, what's the first thing you show me? Great Hall, Transfiguration, Training Ground? No, the Great Hall! It's majestic. And that's where everybody is. I think I start where all students at Hogwarts begin their studies. The Great Hall. Do you remember the first time you walked through the doors before our sorting ceremony? Oh yeah, that too. The Great Hall is where I got sorted into Hufflepuff. I marveled at how the ceiling appeared to extend endlessly upwards. Oh yeah, because it looked like the night sky. Like the universe. I think it's one of Hogwarts' most beautiful places. I so totes agree. Me. I think you've got the knack for this, Emmzy. If we can find Erling the Great's suitable haunting grounds, the Friar will accept Nearly Headless Nick's invitation. We're both Hufflepuffs, Penny. We should be able to figure this out with a little brainstorming. Let's think of a place for Erling to haunt during his stay together. In fact, I have a few ideas myself. That's it! The artifact room would be the perfect place for Erling the Great to haunt during his stay at Hogwarts. It's off the beaten path, and the antiquities surrounding him will be sure to keep his fascination. If Erling likes being surrounded by history and stories, I think he'll love it. The best part is that I think the room won't require much preparation. I don't think we'll find a better solution. I wonder what Erling will tell other ghosts about Hogwarts. There's a lot of history in these walls. I'm not sure, but I think the artifact room could inspire him. We'll have to track the Friar down as soon as we can to make that happen. Don't keep him waiting. Don't you worry, Penny, I won't. I cannot wait to meet Erling the Great after all this time. I've heard so much about him. I like how that she's almost standing on the table. I think every ghost in Hogwarts is talking about this Erling the Great guy. And also, is it just me or is there a ghost student just taunting behind the Slytherin student that's studying. I can't believe that the one and only Erling the Great will be visiting Hogwarts. I cannot wait to hear his stories. Kinda looks like he's standing on a pumpkin. Oh, the ghosts, I love him. Good evening, Freya. I believe that I found the perfect place for Erling the Great to haunt during his stay. Marvelous! Everything else for his visit is just about set. Where did you find room for our guests? What do you think about the artifact room? It's dark, cozy, and has plenty of wizarding history within its walls. I think that'll do nicely. Thank you so much for helping me, Emmzy. Now that it's settled, do you think that you and Erling will be able to make it to Nearly Headless Nick's Death Day party? Oh, about that. Oh no, what is it? What's wrong, Freya? Why are we panning at this ghost? He's here! He's here! Erling the Great has arrived! Oh, really? We get to meet this Erling? Ooh, I'm curious to know what he looks like. Show me Erling the Great. Now? But he wasn't scheduled to appear until tomorrow. He just came early, apparently. Is that going to be a problem? You saved me the embarrassment of not having a room for him, so we should be good. For now. Well, yeah, for the moment at least. Wow! What an entrance! And gracefully floats down. Well, well, if it isn't the Fat Friar himself! Erling the Great, what a pleasure it is to have you here. I trust that your trip was comfortable? About as comfortable as it can be expected for a 974-year-old ghost. Wow! He is really old. Tell me, Freya, who is this? Oh, where are my manners, Erling? I would like to introduce you to Emmzy Spirits. She found you a room to haunt during your stay here at Hogwarts. Is that so? Well, in that case, I owe you my sincerest gratitude, Miss Spirits. It's a pleasure. You remind me of a student I recently met at Beau Batten's. Very kind and charitable. Extremely bright, too. Thank you, and you're welcome, Mr. Pardon my asking, but how do you prefer to be addressed? Some call me Erling, but you may call me Erling the Great. It's a pleasure to meet you, Erling the Great. I hope you consider yourself an expert on ghostly matters, if only to ensure that I get the most from my visit to Hogwarts. How familiar are you with the ghosts here? Expert, few things, or relatively new? Well, I'm not gonna say I'm an expert of sorts. I know my last name is Spirits, but still. I wouldn't say they're new or an expert. Maybe should I play it safe and go in between? I've read a few things in my studies, and I converse with the ghosts of Hogwarts from time to time. It appears that you have a curious mind. Wonderful. Don't forget mad. My mind is mad. And curiosity does kill the cat. Perhaps you'll learn something that you will be able to share with your classmates. I certainly hope so. Could you and the Friar give me an introduction to Hogwarts and tell me what you have planned? You made it sound as though I won't have a moment to spare during this all too brief tour of the grounds. I couldn't ask for anything better, old friend. It's not every day that we have such a prolific spirit gracing our halls, Erling. Is there a room on the itinerary for Nearly Headless Nick's Death Day party? He will be very excited to host both of you. Who? Perhaps we can discuss this later, Emmzy. If we're celebrating anyone's Death Day with a party, it will most certainly be mine. And why is that, Erling? When is it? October 31st, of course. Same day as Nick's! What a world! What a small world, huh? I don't know if that is good or bad. That's the same night as Nearly Headless Nick's. Perhaps we can celebrate both of them together. Spirits, right? Look. I'm sure this not headless Nathan is a nice chap and all, but my death day is my day. You can't even say his name right! A spirit of my stature deserves the finest treatments. I will not be asked to share a party. It's insulting. End of story. Oh, speak of the Nick. On the contrary, I think this is just the beginning. Sir Nick, now's not the best. If you're looking for the finest treatments, you will need to come to my Death Day party on the same night. Oh, this is not good. And he flew away in a rage. Emmzy, can I trust you to retrieve Sir Nick before we make any rash decisions? I want us to talk this out. I'll try. Oh, I completed part 1 too! Okay. This has just gotten interesting. Part 2. A spirited confrontation brews when Hogwarts plays host to an extraordinary ghost. Let's get to the bottom of this. We have 2 ghosts with the same death day. How do we celebrate both of them? I'm not the one pretending that my death day is the only one that matters. Why can't each ghost host their own party and let everyone decide how they want to spend their evening? I doubt that a divided audience will be an event worthy of Erling's prestige. I feel like, yeah, come to think of it, Erling is the talk of the ghost town. We can't forget that he will be sharing his Hogwarts experiences with ghosts all over the world. Oh, we would not want to give Erling a bad review. I don't want him to be speaking ill of the castle or its residents. I don't think anyone here wants that, right, Sir Nicholas? It's bad enough that every spirit in the castle is going mad for Erling, but giving in to his ridiculous demands. Well, I don't have a word for how ridiculous it is, other than utterly ridiculous. It's that ridiculous. We're never going to get anywhere arguing amongst ourselves like this. Why does he have to be so dramatic when he flies in, or floats in? I believe Emmzy is quite right about that. So he was eavesdropping? This reminds me of a conversation I had with Gregory the Smarmy back in the 12th century. It all started when... Who invited this clod? Nick! What's a clod? Name calling? It is clearly apparent to me that we are at an impasse. Or impasse. Whatever is pronounced. I'm going to mispronounce a lot of words. Erling, would you be open to discussing this with us? We're trying to find a solution that works for everyone. Of course I am, but only if everyone can behave themselves. Go ahead and host another party on October 31st if you like. Just don't be surprised when no one shows up. I shall. We'll see if the ghosts of Hogwarts want to enjoy a grand evening with me, or a dull night of your yammering. Erling, Sir Nicholas, please rethink this. You're making everyone... I bid you all a good night. Likewise, I have an invitation list to attend to. Wait, Sir Nicholas, don't. And, of course, they just both leave. Great. Oh dear, they're fighting because I forgot about Sir Nicholas' death day when I was planning Erling's visit. Oh, that's why you think? Like, you think it's like that because they're fighting because you forgot someone's death day? You tried to remind me about Nearly Headless Nick's party, but with everything else on my mind, it slipped, and we're all suffering for it. I'm afraid this is all my fault, isn't it? It's not your fault. I suppose it is. No, it is never your fault. You may have forgotten their death day plans, but it's not your fault that they're acting this way. Yeah, it's just... they're just butting ghost heads, and their egos are just... friction. I suppose I hadn't thought about it like that before. Don't be too hard on yourself, Friar.
Oh.
Get back to your studies while you can, Emmzy. We'll have to see if some time to cool off will calm our cantankerous Death Day party hosts. The ghosts sure are going gaga over this Erling fellow. Tired student. Is it the one sleeping? I heard one of Erling the Great's stories last night about dragon keepers in Romania. It was simply incredible. Have you heard? Erling the Great will be hosting his Death Day party here at Hogwarts. Wow, already forgot about Nyx. Well, I guess, Erling's more great. I can't believe that Erling and Nearly Headless Nick will be hosting competing Death Day parties. Well, hosting and competing Death Day parties. It's a shame that it's come to that, but those two ghosts do not get along. Now it seems like the whole school is talking about them. Erling sounds like a fascinating personality. It would be nice to meet someone with that much experience traveling. You might run into him if you keep your eye out for him. He's supposed to be touring Hogwarts with the Fat Friar. Or they might come to us. Talk about timing! And this is our Charms classroom. You will often find Professor Flitwick in here teaching students. Random, they just decide to float in front of us, but anyways. Oh, Penny, Emmzy, what a delight to see you. Let me introduce you to, some call me Erling, but you may call me Erling the Great. I'm Penny Haywood. Charmed to meet you, Erling the Great. Emmzy was just telling me about you and your travels. Oh, they are quite legendary. Did you know that I was in talks to collaborate with a writer to collect my stories into books? Yes, you told me all about it on our way here.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you can meet Penny. She is one of Hufflepuff's best potion students. Oh, you are too kind, Friar. How goes your tour of Hogwarts so far? The castle is about as grand as I expected. Beautiful classrooms, even if their arrangement is slightly confusing. Unfortunately, we cannot stay long because today's schedule is rather brisk.
Yeah.
But we have a moment to let you get better acquainted with Erling if you like. It is such a joy to get to know the charming students of Hogwarts, such bright young minds. The warm welcome from most of Hogwarts leads me to believe my upcoming Death Day will be one to remember. We're glad that you can spend it among friends here. And it's a pleasure to get to know you too. It's not every day that a distinguished such as yourself visits Hogwarts. I hate to interrupt, but I must remind Erling that we're scheduled to tour the dungeons in a few moments. Ah yes, the dungeons. What better place for two ghosts to haunt? Do you know who has some genuinely fascinating dungeons? Azkaban! Interestingly enough, I visited the islands before it was turned into a prison. The dreadful owner in those times. You can tell me all about it on our way. But only after your help make some decisions for your Death Day party. There's still a lot to coordinate. Of course. Show me the way. Excuse us. Good day to you both. Good day to you too, Fat Friar and Erling the Great. He's certainly a talkative spirit, isn't he? Did I understate his tendency towards storytelling? I'm not sure that it would be possible to overstate it. Erling makes a pompous first impression, but he seems much nicer when he lets his guard down. Letting others see that side of Erling might help him straighten things out with Nearly Headless Nick. Is Sir Nicholas really going to continue planning his own Death Day party the same night? I'm afraid nothing will deter him now. He's extremely dedicated. The ghosts who are invited to both parties will be in a tight spot. There are compelling reasons to go to either party. Who do you think will have the most guests at their party? Erling or Nick? I mean, yeah, Erling's popular and everyone would love to hear his stories, but I feel like Nearly Headless Nick might have a bit of more of an advantage because he's been at Hogwarts longer, so the majority of the ghosts at Hogwarts might side with him. Erling is great, but Sir Nicholas is their friend. The ghosts can be a fiercely loyal bunch. I don't think that Erling will be starved for attention, so I hope you're right for Sir Nicholas' sake. Nobody should be alone for something as important as their death day. I can't imagine anything sadder than that. I wish there were a way for me to help Sir Nicholas through this. I'll be meeting with Nearly Headless Nick to go over his party plans soon. Would you like to join? Absolutely. Just let me know when and I'll be there. I'm intrigued to see what becomes of this competing Death Day party bro haha I've heard so much about. I listened to Erling the Great tell stories all night long. By the time he was finished, the sun was beginning to rise. Penny told me that the Fat Fry has been swamped planning some kind of party for his friend. Emmzy and Penny, it's good to see both of you again. Thank you so much for helping me organize my Death Day party today. What needs to get done today? Also, I am freezing up. What? Come on, game, don't crash, please. As you know, my Death Day party will be a formal, sophisticated event. And Erling is hosting his party on the same night. I need to send out a classy save the date as soon as possible. I would like you to use your wizarding skills to create some beautiful invitations to set the tone for my guests. Great. What type of invitation would you like us to make? I want something that shows how this event will have an elegant touch. I was thinking of using howlers. Howlers? Howlers for an elegant touch? Howlers might not be the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about the word elegant. Yeah, Penny and I are kind of on the same wavelength. Of course not. Our howlers won't be yelling at the invitees. They'll be beaconing our guests. Gently so. How do you suppose we do that? I know of a charm that will be perfect for this. Oh! Woo! Invitation Howler looks amazing. I love it. You are cordially invited to celebrate the death day of Sir Nicholas D. Emmzy Porpington. Oh, back to normal. Outstanding, Emmzy! These invitations are quite posh. I'd like to see old Erling come up with something as good as this. Well done. I'm glad that we could help. That's what magic is for, right? It's always a delight to watch both of you use your talents. If I'm honest, it brings back a lot of memories from my days as a wizard, before I became a ghost. It makes me miss using magic. Well, this is getting sad. Oh, Sir Nicholas, we didn't mean to. It's okay. I get a little emotional as my death day approaches. I remember the perks of being alive. It causes memories to come flooding back. Many of them are pleasant. Some of them, not so much. Surely you must enjoy being a ghost, though, especially here at Hogwarts. Enjoy might be a strange word to apply here. Forgive my curiosity, but what's it like to be a ghost? It's almost like living, but definitely not living, like the opposite of living. I'm not sure I understand. Let me think about it for a second. Emmzy, if you had to lose one, would you rather lose your sense of smell or touch? Could do without touch, or I wouldn't miss my sense of smell. I mean, with smelling, yeah, there were some bad smells I probably wouldn't mind missing. But not smelling anything is kind of scary. And being a ghost, I'm just like phasing through things, so I guess maybe sacrifice touch? I don't know. If I had to lose one, I would prefer to lose my sense of touch. I wouldn't miss feeling anything painful. Oh yeah, that too. Like needles. Pins and needles. Not a big fan. But what about how the soft fur of a niffler feels? Or how raindrops touch your skin when it starts to rain? Oh my goodness, I'm really... Oh, I should have picked smell. Wouldn't you miss how the good things felt too? I suppose I would miss them, but I could remember them, right? That's sort of what it's like to be a ghost. I can remember all those wondrous sensations life has to offer. Sometimes I can almost sense them. But I'm always reminded in a strange way that I can't sense them at all. It's something that every ghost experiences. Some become angry or bitter, but it makes me appreciate the time I had as a living wizard even more. Thank you for sharing that, Nearly Headless Nick. That's very thoughtful of you. Don't let my long-winded lecturing go to waste now. Our world isn't perfect, but it's important to appreciate all that we have here and today. Enough babbling. I want my guests to RSVP these invitations before Erling has a chance to sway them. Start with that one on the top of the pile. You can find her by the bathrooms. He's talking about... I know who he's talking about. I'm really excited. That we actually get to meet her! Oh, do we meet her? I guess we'll just wait and see. I cannot get over how amazing this bathroom looks. It's so majestic. I love the running water effect and everything. I'm surprised it didn't flood through Hogwarts yet, but still, this looks amazing. Oh, the mood and everything. This is just mwah. Is it okay for us to be in here? This lavatory almost always has an out of order sign posted on its door. Nobody is in here. I've heard a few stories about this place, but nothing too ghastly. What kind of ghost hangs around a loo? A friend of Nearly Headless Nick's, apparently. What's the name on her invitation again? It said Myrtle Elizabeth Warren. How do you suggest we go about finding her? Won't be hard to find. Just look through the stalls. Hello? Is there a Myrtle Elizabeth Warren here? Okay, just call out to the wind. Come on, do you really think that's going to... Nope, it actually worked. Oh my goodness, she looks amazing! Did you call my name? Yes, I did, Myrtle. You look amazing! Ah! If you're looking for a loo, I suggest that you find another... Oh, actually, we're here looking for you, Myrtle Warren. You see, Sir Nicholas asked us to deliver... Don't lie to me! Every year around this time, some sheepish students like you come poking around to make fun of me. There's Moany Myrtle. Let's tease her because she wears glasses, they say. Just get on with it. Be a bully and leave me alone. Whoever you are. I believe we got off on the wrong foot, Myrtle. I'm Emmzy Spirits, and this is my friend Penny Haywood. Hello there. Sorry about earlier. You surprised me. We're here to deliver an invitation to you. You are cordially invited to celebrate the death day of Sir Nicholas de Mimsy Porpington. I'm just looking at my character avatar model, and my stance is so cute, like with my hands tucked to my chest like that. Let my little face is cute. Oh, this model stance is so cute. Also, why does it say love note? Why, like, previously it said, like, invitation howler. Why all of a sudden does it now say love note? Is that an error? And back to normal, and I just put it back in my robes. Oh, what a lovely surprise. Death Day parties are such fun. Or, so I've been told. Have you never been invited to one of these parties before? I've received invitations, but I've never been to a Death Day party before. I know that none of the ghosts want me there. They don't want to have to deal with Moaning Myrtle. Nearly Headless Nick had us bring this invitation here just for you. He really wants you at his party. He's just being polite. Besides, some of the ghosts are so stuffy and stuck up. Why should I go to Nearly Headless Nick's Death Day party? You'll make friends. This means a lot to Sir Nicholas. Oh, these two do make good points, but what's a good choice to sway her? Give the other ghosts a chance to get to know you, Myrtle. You might make a friend or two at the party. Exactly, and you won't be a lone ghost. I've been a ghost at Hogwarts for over 40 years. If they were going to warm up to me, they would have done it by now. They hate me. Well, I mean, you're hovering around the bathrooms and you just... the paranoia. You're feeding that paranoia. But anyways, sometimes you have to give someone a chance to get to know you. When's the last time you did something like that? Instead of isolating yourself in the bathroom for years. Well, more like eternity. Not in a long, long time. You piqued my interest, but I won't tell you if I go until I hear what Sir Nick's got planned. You've convinced me that I definitely want to attend the party. It sounds like it will be a great time. So Nearly Headless Nick can expect to see you there? I don't know if I could do it alone. I need someone to accompany me. I'm a little shy. You may have heard about me. I'm not always comfortable in social situations. That does explain why she likes to linger for eternity in the bathrooms to avoid communication with others from outside. Your invitation comes with a +1. You're allowed to bring a guest with you. Oh, that's perfect. You can be my guest, Emmzy. Wow, me? Oh, I'm flattered. I'm flattered, but don't you want to bring another ghost with you? Come on. We just got to know Myrtle, so does she have any other ghost friends? None of the other ghosts make me feel as comfortable as you do. I'll take that as a compliment, even though I'm a living. Besides, you made an effort to talk to me into this. Think of it as a thank you for reaching out to me and being a friend. It was no problem. It was my pleasure, Myrtle. Thank you, Myrtle. That's mighty kind of you. We need to keep moving, Emmzy. These invitations won't deliver themselves. Right. See you soon, Myrtle. Thanks for coming by, Emmzy. I can't wait for Sir Nick's party. Half the ghosts I know are headed to Erling the Great's Death Day party. I didn't think Sir Nicholas would take it so hard when I told him that I wouldn't be able to make it to his party. Erling the Great didn't extend an invitation to me, so I'll be going to Nearly Headless Nick's Death Day party. I'm glad that you can make it, Emmzy. I've heard that you've been passing out invitations to Nearly Headless Nick's Death Day party. That's right. I've only got one more to deliver. Oh, and it's him! You are cordially invited to celebrate the death day of Sir Nicholas de Mumsy Porpington. Wait, did I say de Mumsy or de Mimsy? Oh, my brain! Oh, poor Sir Nicholas. Even though he may not like to admit it, Sir Nicholas can be a sensitive spirit at times. Weren't you expecting an invite? Truth be told, I wasn't sure, but I'm happy to see it. This invitation makes me hopeful that what I'm about to ask of you won't be dismissed outright. What's on your mind, Friar? Every rumor that Erling hears about Sir Nicholas's party causes him to ask for more and more from me. Nearly Headless Nick seems rather preoccupied with Erling's party as well. It's bad enough that this clash of personalities is straining my friendship with Sir Nicholas, but I feel as though it would be best for everyone if both parties stop trying to compete with one another. How can I help de-escalate this quarrel? Getting the two of them together and asking them to set their egos aside may be too tall of an order. There will be two parties that night, but that doesn't mean that each party needs to be this over the top. Could you speak to Sir Nicholas and ask him to stop this silly competition? Nick won't listen, or I'll try to have a word with him. I'll try. I think that's a good idea. Let me see if I can have a word with Sir Nicholas about this. Really? Oh, Emmzy, you have no idea how good it is to hear you say that. Sir Nicholas and I haven't been on speaking terms since this whole thing began. I hope this means that we can be friends again after this. It's a shame that this has come in between the two of you. I'd like to think that all of the house ghosts are friends. Usually we are, but Death Days have a way of bringing out a ghost's most sensitive emotions, as you can imagine. What type of things has Erling requested for his Death Day party? You wouldn't believe what Erling has asked for. A 16-piece band, fireworks, and a giant feast of rotten food? All in Dumbledore's office? Erling has a very specific picture of his Death Day party in his head, but it changes moment to moment. It feels like I'm always one step behind his requests. If it makes you feel any better, it's not much easier helping Sir Nicholas prepare his Death Day party. The big night is coming up soon, so I suppose there's only so much more either of them can change. At least, I hope so. There you are, Emmzy. I've been searching the entire castle for you. Surprisingly, at that pace you were gliding through. Sir Nicholas, while you are here, do you think we could speak privately for a moment? I'm sorry, it must wait. I have important matters to discuss with Emmzy. And we'll find out whatever that is in the next part. Part 3. Nick needs your help, but how far will you go to put on the better Death Day party? I ran into Erling the Great in the hallway, and his story made me late for class. Nearly Headless Nick has informed me that there will be dancing at his Death Day party. I heard that Erling's party would be serving moldy cheeses so fragrant that it causes the living to retch. Good news, Sir Nicholas. All the invitations have been delivered. Surprised we're now outside all of a sudden. From the Great Hall. Splendid! It looks like we're one step ahead of Erling the not so great on that front. Unfortunately, it appears that we're behind him when it comes to the matter of food preparation. I keep hearing all the ghosts talking about what kind of deliciously spoiled feast Erling has promised them. Oh, like delicacy. 'Cause does deliciously make any sense? Probably doesn't to me. What have you thought about serving at your Death Day party? I have been kicking around a few ideas, but I haven't arrived at any firm conclusions yet. I do know that I want to present my guests with a 12-course meal, but if we want it all prepared in time, I'll need to give the house elves final instructions as soon as possible. Let's go over what you have in mind so far. That way, we know what portions of the menu still need to be figured out. You're such an efficient thinker, Emmzy. Am I though? After my magnificent Death Day party, I won't be surprised when other ghosts look to you for help planning theirs. You are too kind, Sir Nicholas, but let's not get distracted right now. Right, I want to present my guests with a full-course meal, 12 dishes created especially for ghosts. The menu is settled. Once I deliver instructions to the house elves, I'll have a massive weight off of my shoulders. Now that just leaves... Well, let me think about this again. A venue, entertainment, music, and I'm not sure what else, but I know I'm forgetting something. I would imagine that the venue would be the next thing to confirm, since it will inform what type of entertainment and music will fit your party best. You've got one good idea after another today. An outdoor space might do the trick, but we'll need to find just the right one. That way, there's room for everyone, naturally, and one up early at every turn. It wouldn't even be a competition. Do Erling's plans really matter? Shouldn't we be focused on your party? Of course it matters. I won't stand to have some blowhard ghost come into Hogwarts and brush me off the way he did. The Friar wanted me to talk to you about the competing parties. He knows that 2 parties are going to be hosted on the night of your death day, but he doesn't want there to be any competition between you and Erling. I suppose I could take it easier on him, but I don't see a reason why I should. He's worried about your friendship and thinks it'll be better for everyone involved. Do you think that we can step away from trying to compete with Erling for the Friar's sake? Pfft, at this point, not a chance. It serves the Friar right for siding with such a cantankerous windbag, but the request is quite curious. Do you think that there's a chance that Erling put the Friar up to speak to me? It is possible. It is difficult to remove the Friar's friendship with Erling out of this mess. Be honest with me, Emmzy. Am I taking this too far? You've gone too far, or no, you haven't gone far enough? Well... I think you've gone too far. It's crazy. And I'm sorry, it's just... I've ripped off the band-aid. I'm giving you the brutal honesty here. And your friendship with the Fat Friar has been strained. You and Erling are using your party events that should be celebrating each of you, not to get back at each other. Some things are more important than our egos. Let's not lose track of that. I must say, your perspective on this matter has given me a lot to think about, Emmzy. I promise to be a bit more mindful on this front in the future. Enough gossip. We still have a party to plan. Do you know of a suitable outdoor space where I could host my Death Day party? I know that the training grounds are often used for pre-matched parties during the Quidditch Cup. Do you think that would work? That's an attractive option. I imagine that we would need to clear it with Madam Hooch before being sure. See if you can speak to her about this soon. We need to move quickly. I didn't think learning to fly would be so tricky. Everybody makes it look easy. How did you get a handle on landing? I can't seem to stick my landings. It's taken a lot of practice, but I think I'm getting the hang of flying. Excuse me, Madam Hooch. Can I speak with you for a moment? Ah, Miss Spirits. I got a little bit of time before my next class. What's on your mind? I'm helping Nearly Headless Nick plan his Death Day party on October 31st. That's quite the responsibility. Yes, it certainly is. We are trying to secure a proper venue for the party. I was wondering if the training grounds could be used. A Death Day party on the training grounds? I appreciate the request, but I will have to decline. I don't feel comfortable with hosting a party stocked with rotten food on the grounds. We have enough problems keeping the gnomes away from the Quidditch pitch. I don't want to start trouble here. Oh, that's okay, I guess. Sorry to disappoint you, Spirits, but keeping the grounds pristine is a challenge. Hard one at best. However, I know a thing or two about Hogwarts ghosts. Perhaps I can help you find a more suitable location. A dark, cool place without a lot of light. Maybe the dungeons would be a better fit. Now that sounds like the perfect location for Sir Nicholas' Death Day party. I'm sure of it. On the plus side, it won't take too much to make those dark holes feel especially festive for the ghosts. Thank you for your help, Madam Hooch. Madam Hooch and Emmzy, a pleasure to see both of you. I was hoping the Friar and I wanted to speak to you about these lovely grounds. They're rather spectacular. I'll be sure to pass along your compliments to Hagrid. Unfortunately, I must be going. Before you leave, I wanted to get your approval to host my extraordinary event here on the training grounds. Kinda already beat you to it, and she said no. To me. She'll probably say the same to you. But I see that great minds think alike, huh?
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. I love his laugh. It's amazing. And who might you be, sir? I don't believe we've met. Some call me Erling, but you may call me Erling the Great. Well, Erling the Great, I'm afraid that I can't approve of that. Spirits just asked me about that, and... Oh, don't be confused, madam. This isn't for all but Necklace Nigel's death day. I'm inquiring about my party. He went from not Headless Nathan to Necklace Nigel now. I don't care if it's a death day party for Merlin himself. The answer is still no. Now, excuse me. I must be on my way. No! Listen here. If you just give me a moment of your time. And slowly just floats after her.
Oh.
I just don't know what to do with Erling. It's one thing after another with him. What's going on? I know he's insistent, but I haven't seen him hound the staff of Hogwarts like that before. I'm afraid that Erling has let fame and notoriety go to his head a bit. A bit? It's the same thing that happened to him when he was living. And that's probably what got him offed. Well, funny how that happens, isn't it? I don't know if it's funny or not, but I suppose so. It's a coincidence, or a little ironic. I don't know. His demands for his death day party are too much, and he won't listen to anyone telling him no. So you've been telling him no and he wouldn't listen? Is there anything that you can do about it? Sometimes I think about sitting him down to ask him why he's asking for all these unnecessary decorations. Other times I feel like I should plan the event myself and stop asking for his opinion. What do you think I should do? Sit Erling down for a talk or take matters into your own hands? It's going to be impossible for him to have a talk, but maybe he should try and think for himself. You know, because if he already knows what Erling likes, he can put that into inspiration for the venue. For his death day party. But Erling may not like it, but I think you need to take things in your own hands and plan everything for his party. Yeah, because you can't always keep asking him. Sometimes try and surprise him a bit, even if he hates it.
Oh.
I was hoping to avoid it, but if that's what it takes to get through the rest of his visit, so be it. Sometimes it can't be helped. Thank you for listening to my troubles, Emmzy. Oh, you're welcome, Friar. I can see why Sir Nicholas chooses to ask you for help with his death day party. Speaking of, I better get back to Nearly Headless Nick. He's waiting on party venue options. Do you smell something a bit off in here? What's that stench? It's familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. Food preparations for Sir Nicholas and Erling's death day parties have begun. I can't wait to almost taste it. Sir Nicholas, I know you had your heart set on having your death day party at the training grounds, but I do not like where this is going. But how would you feel about hosting the party in the dungeons? The dungeons? That sounds like it would be a dim, cold, and very, very dusty place. Quite the macabre setting. We could fix it up if you wish. It's perfect. A few candles, the undead glow of the ghosts. It'll be a spectacularly atmospheric affair. I love it. Well done, Emmzy. You always come through for me in the most delightful ways. Be sure to thank Madam Hooch next time you see her. She helped me think of it. Good to note. I'll send my regards to the next time we meet. Now, we must turn our attention to food again. I believe I nearly caught a whiff of Erling's feast that the house elves are preparing. At least that's what some Gryffindor students informed me of this morning. If we want to best Erling's party, I figured we could take a sneak peek at what the house elves have been brewing. So that's what I saw the house elves working on this morning? Yuck. Hey, Marilla. You saw what they're preparing? Yes, but only briefly as I passed by the kitchen. I didn't want to stick around. All the food was rather vile. Be respectful, Marilla. That's food for someone's death day party. But can you tell us what they were making? What did you see? Let me see if I can recall. That's all I can remember for right now. Thinking about this too much will turn my stomach. It sounds like Erling has quite the feast planned, but spreads should be just as plentiful. It's a good thing we got started on the menu when we did. If you really want to best Erling's silly little party, you should preserve his food. That'll show him. Of course you'd suggest something like that, Marilla. There won't be much of a Death Day party without rotten food now, right? That would be a sneaky and devilish tactic. Only the lowest of the low would do something like that. And I don't think that type of trickery is very sportsmanlike. Nearly Headless Nick, shouldn't we be focused on your Death Day feast? On your Death Day feast. I keep doing the TH and the F sounds. Do you want to show this Erling guy what for or not? I do, but I don't know if I support such skullduggery. Skullduggery. I like it. I'll Google search that later. Sometimes you need to give your competition an extra push to show them who's boss. An extra push doesn't sound that bad. Maybe this is something I need to consider. Not reconsider. Emmzy, would you be willing to preserve Erling's food? This would give us the edge or no? No, it sounds wrong. I'm not gonna stoop to Marilla's level. This crosses the line, Sir Nicholas. I don't think sabotaging Erling's party is a good idea. Yeah, and you won't be better than him. You're probably right. Oh, boo-hoo. Why are you wasting your time with spirits? I'll do it. You will? I know you're not my house ghost, but you're a house ghost for Hogwarts. We're on the same team. Alright, I believe this is my best course of action. I'll summon you to the Great Hall when the time is right. If I want to outdo Erling, we need to preserve the food planned for his Death Day party. Let's hurry up. This place gives me the creeps at night. I know you weren't especially keen on this, Emmzy, but I hope that I can still depend on you for this. I'm not sure about this. I'll keep a lookout while the two of you start casting your spells. We'll need to work quickly and quietly. I don't want anyone to know that we're here. Alright, let's get started. Just watch me. I have a knack for this type of thing. Wow! Wonderful, the food is frozen solid. Well, it kind of helps the smelling problem for the living. Now the two of you should get out of here before... Freeze! Oh, yep, we got caught. Wait! Nearly Headless Nick, weren't you on lookout? That's what we just did. Yeah! No time to be funny, Marilla. Emmzy Spirits, Marilla Snide, and Nearly Headless Nick? You froze all of the food that was being prepared for Erling's Death Day party. Oh, I am appalled. Excuse me for a moment, Professor, but I thought I heard something funny happening in here, but I had no idea that such misbehavior was going on here. I'm going to need you to explain yourselves. Who is responsible for this? I am, Marilla, or Nick? I am not throwing anyone under the bus for this. I know I didn't want to go along with it, but I'm there, so... I'll just take one for the team. This is my fault, Professor. I didn't stop them when I should have. Emmzy, don't. 15 points will be taken from Hufflepuff for this. Oh, okay. Ha ha ha. That'll be 15 points from Slytherin as well. It would be wise to remain silent right now, Miss Snide. I need to have a word with Mr. Mimsy Pulpington in private. Miss Spirits, Miss Snide, please wait outside in the courtyard. Yes, Professor. Oh, part 3 complete. We're almost there. Oh, and I can faintly see Miri and Marilla walk off to the courtyard. Part 4. The night of the dueling Death Day parties approaches, but is Nick ready to host his event? I should have known something like that would happen. You couldn't even pretend to blame our little prank on someone else. Your lucky Sprout didn't expel you. Yeah, I'm glad it was more Sprout who handled the situation. If it was Snape, he would have expelled me in a heartbeat. Hey, Nick. What did she say to you? Marilla, Emmzy, listen. Listen closely. I need to talk to both of you. Is everything alright? It took some convincing, but I think Professor Sprout and I arrived at a satisfactory agreement. Don't keep us in the dark, Sir Nicholas. Are we in trouble or what? I promised Professor Sprout that I would speak with both of you about the serious consequences of our actions. But I managed to convince her that neither of you should be punished any further. How? She looked rather upset. Long story short, I admitted to her that I was the one responsible here. She calmed down after I offered to assist her in some herbology classes for the foreseeable future. Additionally, all of the food that was planned for my Death Day party will go to Erling's party now. Ugh, this prank completely backfired on us. Forfeiting the food and helping with some classes is not a terrible punishment, don't you agree? Seems appropriate, or I think you got off light. It seems fair to me. That food wasn't ours to spoil. I mean, preserve. You know what I mean. There's no accounting for taste. Apparently some people like spirits are gluttons for punishment. Indeed, Professor Sprout had been working to assist with the food preparation for both Death Day parties. It was not easy to talk her down from further punishment. Whatever, she'll get over it. Perhaps, but in the meantime, I must say that I am truly sorry for everything. Oh, apology accepted, Nearly Headless Nick. I hope that both of you can forgive my lack of judgment. Thank you, Nearly Headless Nick. I'm sorry that it had to come down to this. Without the food, will you still carry on with your plans for a Death Day party? That would disappoint Myrtle. I'm not sure yet. It's not much of a Death Day party without a feast. And he dramatically flies in. Well. Oh, he's come to gloat. Great, just what I need right now. You flubbed it with incredible buffoonery that even I could not have predicted. It would be rather sad if you didn't thoroughly deserve it. As such, it is hilarious. Before you waltzed in here, I thought about canceling my Death Day party. Oh, were you? But seeing your pompous attitude has only rekindled my inclination to go forward with my event. I don't know what the event will look like now, but I certainly won't be backing down now. Emmzy, make sure that Myrtle is ready. My party will start very soon, and I don't want her to miss out. Myrtle, are you here? Hello? Is anyone here? No, nobody's here. If you say nobody's here, why'd you respond, Myrtle? But come on, Myrtle, it's time for Nearly Headless Nick's Death Day party. We don't want to be late. I changed my mind. I'm not going. Really? What's wrong? You were so excited about it before. The other ghosts don't want me there. I won't go. Let's not make any rash decisions. It's no use, Emmzy. I've made up my mind. Just wait, Myrtle. I'm going to find you and convince you of the great time we'll have. Every ghost has gone through what you're going through right now. They'll understand what you're feeling. Oh, there's Myrtle. She decided to pop up right behind me. Alright. Thanks to your pep talk, I'm ready to go. Oh, wow. Nice. I made her flip the switch. I can convince her to go, and then she'll self-convince, like, oh, I don't want to go. Everyone will make fun of me. No one wants to be my friend. But, I hope I wasn't much of a bother with my cold feet and all. And you're cold everything, because ghosts are supposed to be cold all over. You must think I'm pretty foolish for being dramatic like this. Everybody gets cold feet, perhaps a little foolish, or you're great because you told me about it. I need to lift her spirits. So I wouldn't say a little bit foolish. There's nothing wrong with telling someone you're scared. In fact, I think it's a good thing you told me. Most people would laugh at me, I think. You trusted me enough to be honest with me, and I appreciate that. Not everybody can do that. You could have stayed hidden away and not talked with me at all. So what you did was brave. Brave? Really? I think so. You're right, Emmzy. I can't let my nerves get in the way of doing the things I want to do. I don't think I would be able to go to the party tonight without your help. Let's head towards the corridor. We'll see what this Death Day party is all about. What are you doing out here, Sir Nicholas? Shouldn't you be inside? Ah, Emmzy, so good to see you. I wanted to greet the guests as they arrive, but... Myrtle Warren, is that you? What a lovely surprise! I'm so glad that you could attend tonight. Thank you for extending the invitation, Sir Nicholas. I know, I'm probably jumping around on her ghost voice. If you don't mind, could I have a word with Emmzy in private? I suppose, but don't take too long. She is my guest after all. Of course, of course. I'll be in there in just a moment. I promise. I'm not gonna up and leave you. You better. This is it, Sir Nicholas. The big night. Are you excited? This party. It's not what I wanted, and I don't want to do about it. And I don't know what to do about it. Tell me what the problem is. We can figure it out together. No food, bored guests, a half-empty hall. This is not what I had in mind at all. I'm sorry to hear that, Sir Nicholas, but can you still enjoy what you have here? This party is better than nothing. I know, I should consider myself lucky that Professor Sprout didn't make me cancel it. But I cannot stop thinking about how much better all of this could have been. This is all Erling's fault. If he had never shown up. C'est la vie, I suppose. Let's not waste any more time out here and get you back into the party. Your guests have been asking where you are. How do I know that? I've been outside talking to him the whole time. That's the thing, Emmzy. I don't wish to bore my guests, and I know many of them would prefer to see Erling's party. If I wrapped up the party early, they would be able to see it, but I don't wish to be a morose host. Do you think I should conclude the party a little early to accommodate them, or keep to the schedule? Well, you said no food, bored guests, and half a party, so I guess just wrap it up. I don't want you to straddle your party to schedule any further. At this point, it might be best to keep things brief. I'm sure your guests will appreciate it. I should have known better than to get into a spat with Erling. The least I can do is admit defeat like a gentleman. It doesn't necessarily mean admitting defeat, but it's good that you're thinking of your guests first. Yes, that's what it is. It's a selfless act. That's what a good host should do. Excuse me, Sir Nicholas. Oh, hi, Fat Friar.
Oh.
The Friar. What are you doing here? Emmzy is here too? I was hoping to find you as well. I must have a word with both of you, immediately. Wait a minute, I agreed to speak with you, Friar, but I have no intention of talking with this scoundrel. And who thought that I would want to have a word with you? Gentlemen, please, I'm sure the Friar has a good explanation for all of this, if we give him a moment to speak. Thank you, Emmzy. I wanted to see if there was still a way of salvaging this evening. Nicholas, I've been your friend long enough to know that your party isn't making you happy right now. I don't know how you'd get that idea. Erling, the shifting demands you gave for your party has ensured that nearly nothing is set up appropriately. Preposterous! If we can set personal pride aside for a moment right now, I think we can find a way to make everyone's evening better. Emmzy, help me get one of these ghosts to cooperate. Appeal to Erling or to Sir Nicholas. I don't know who should I convince more. Erling, I think your visit to Hogwarts would be greatly improved if everyone got a chance to meet you. If we combined both of the parties, you would have the biggest audience possible for your stories. I suppose that would allow me more time with my adoring fans. That's good for Erling, but what does that offer me? This might be the only way to save your party as well. We can be kind hosts, but only if we collaborate. Being seen as the ghost that managed to share a Death Day party with Erling the Great doesn't seem all that bad. Yeah, you'll kind of be a legend, Nick. An equal legend. Alright, I'm in. That swayed him. Agreed. To save this evening from dueling congregations, we must work together. But how? We need to rearrange everything in the dungeons. It's just a matter of taking stock of what we have and think about how to utilize it best. Alright, we have a plan. Friar and Erling, you'll need to help your guests move to our party. Leave it to me. Sir Nicholas, we'll need to start clearing some space so that everyone will have enough room. To think a few moments ago, I was worried that we would have too much space. Brilliant! We should have the parties combined in short order. Before we go any further, allow me to apologize for my behavior, Erling. I deeply regret what happened to the menu you prepared. I owe you an apology as well, Nicholas. I know I wasn't the most generous spirit to deal with. While I appreciate the sentiments, may I suggest we stay focused on uniting these parties? Our guests are waiting, especially Myrtle. Right, we have a lot of work to do. Understood, Emmzy. We will all reconvene in the dungeons shortly. You know that none of this would have been possible without your vital influence, Emmzy. It hasn't been easy to juggle Sir Nicholas and Erling, but at the end of the day, both of them are my friends. I am very grateful that you found a way of bringing them together. How about we celebrate once we have everyone in the same room together? We've got a party to plan. Whoa, this looks so cool! Oh my goodness, it's so majestic and spooky and beautiful, and I am so in love with this atmosphere. It's just... This is just perfect! The cobwebs and the lighting and the moon and everything is a nice touch. I love the ghosts all together! This is practically my spirit verse right here. The enchanted instruments are simply a delight. I believe this party will last deep into the evening. 2 Death Day parties in one? If this isn't the height of grandeur, I don't want to know what is. Look at Nick just floating around, talking to all the guests. I'm so in love with this. I'm in love with this scene so much. I know that I had my doubts, but I must say, the food, the dancing, seeing everyone in here enjoying themselves, this is the Death Day party I had hoped for. I honestly love this Death Day party. It's amazing. Okay, I'm just like fangirling. Because I'm in love with the Death Day party too, even though I'm living. Thank you for reminding me what really matters when putting together a Death Day party, Emmzy. My pleasure, Sir Nicholas. After everything you've been through, I think it's time you enjoy the party you worked so hard to assemble. That's right, but where did Myrtle wander off to? Oh, hopefully she didn't wander back off to the restroom. Nope, there she is. Oh, just in a corner. There you are, Emmzy. I was beginning to think that you stood me up. Never! I just got held up. No, not at all. In fact, I'm hoping that you were about to introduce me to some of your friends. Whoa, look at all of them dancing. That is so cool. I love Myrtle's reaction. It's amazing. Thank you for convincing me to come to the party tonight. This party is better than I could have imagined it to be. Sorry, little clogginess. But I'm glad you're happy, Myrtle. Think nothing of it, Myrtle. Thank you for inviting me as your guest. This is practically my dream. There's Sprout, just the way she walks. It's adorable. Miss Warren, would you mind if I had a word with your guests? Do you mind, Myrtle? I'm sorry that I keep getting pulled away. It's alright with me. I've got to check in with some of the other guests anyway. This soiree is looking quite lovely, Miss Spirits. The friar told me you played a part in getting Sir Nicholas and Erling the Great to put their differences aside. I might have had a word or two with them. I'm curious, what's the most important thing you have learned from this whole experience? 2 parties are harder, the more the merrier, or we shouldn't make snap judgments. I think I kind of like the first and the third one. I don't know which one is the... Sir Nicholas and Erling clashed at first sight, and even the friar was worried the two would never get along. But now they're hosting the most ambitious event for Ghosts Hogwarts has ever seen. Next time something like this pops up, I hope that the two of them aren't so quick to judge others. It sounds like I don't have to worry about you tinkering with property that doesn't belong to you again. No, Professor, you don't have to worry about that at all. I'm glad to hear that you've grown from this. Which is why I'll be restoring the points I took away. Oh, thank you! You mean it? I'm not a fan of trickery or pranks. But you've managed to bring 2 of the Friar's closest friends together after a rather nasty spat. And that is to be commended. Thank you, Professor Sprout. Oh, she's back. Are you almost finished with Emmzy? I haven't had a single dance yet, and the dance floor is filling up. I believe I've taken up more than enough of your evening, Miss Spirits. By all means. Come on, there's still a spot open for us. Lead the way, Myrtle. Oh, here we go. We're making it to the dance floor. Oh my... Oh! Oh, that is so cute! And I'm like leading the dance too. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, I love this. Oh... This is so my dream. This is what, like, if I have my own Spirit Fest, this is what I'll probably mostly be doing. Oh, I love it. And the frost robe just as perfectly fits the environment as well. Oh, this is so lovely. The music and everything. Oh my goodness. Oh, I never thought I would be dancing with Moaning Myrtle, but here we are. I love this. I love this so much. I can't... Oh my goodness, so beautiful. Oh! And what a beautiful way to end the special quest. Aw. It's kind of sad now. It's all over. I'm nearly finished. Now to complete my fire protection potion. Yeah, let's finish it. I've been sitting on this lesson for so long, it's best that I can finally get it done and over with. Oh, yep, the classic do-do-do-do-do. Brilliant! Flick out my wand. Swish. Flick. Potion. Done. And Rowan is happy. Yes! I have learned fire protection potion. Nice. I have been sitting on chapter 7 for so long, and as well as this lesson, now I can finally continue. Chapter 7 complete. Facing the door. Money and experience. Oh shoot! I just realized I'm not that far off from finishing year 2. So maybe that's why I'm getting a lot of special quests to prolong the year. Chapter 8, Training the Team. Even Bill Weasley was not strong enough to break the curse on the vault. Reeling from your second defeat, you struggle to plot your next move.